I have basically created content for the next 3 months. That's me basically batching the content. Last week, I mentioned that I was going to take you guys through my content planning process, but I noticed it's a long one, so I'm just going to be breaking it down into three. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys how I create my content basically. The first thing I will do is find out who their target audience is. And for today's video, say I'm going to be working with a jewelry brand. So say I want to develop content for a jewelry brand. The first thing is I'm going to find out who their target audience is. Majorly, I love doing demographic targeting. So females between the age of this and that, and then they are based in where. So once I find all those informations, the next thing I will do is find out the platforms that they are on, right? Now for jewelry brands, I will probably pick two platforms. So I'll pick Instagram and then I'll pick YouTube, right? Or I'll pick Instagram and I'll pick email marketing. For people, I usually advise that you have two platforms, one for short form content and one for long form content, right? So if I'm doing the emails, I'm doing a weekly newsletter, and then if I'm doing Instagram, I'm doing posting per week. So once I select the platforms that I want them to be on, then I will now do a schedule of how many times I want to be posting on that platform. So if it is Instagram and if it's a jewelry brand, since it's around the e-commerce thingy and they have a lot of products, I'll rather post 5 times a week, right? And then for email, I'll be doing a weekly newsletter for their clients. So we have a long form content in email newsletters, and then we have a short form content for Instagram. After selecting the number of platforms that they're on, then I go ahead to creating content pillars, selecting content pillars, and also finding out things that I could actually draft content on. Normally, they are usually educational, inspirational, motivational, promotional, and inspirational. So out of those five content pillars, I'll now select, okay, what exactly do I want to be posting every week? Now, I could say on Mondays, I want to be doing inspirational content. I want to be doing content that talks about the brand. This is a jewelry brand now. Content that talks about beauty and stuff like that. I want to be doing I don't know, quotes, and then of course I'll be doing a little bit of promotional videos. Now because it's a jewelry brand, I always like my jewelry content, any e-commerce brand that I'm managing, to look like more like an e-commerce website. So I develop like a schedule like that. On Monday, motivational inspirational quotes. On Tuesday I do this, and then on Wednesday I do educational. On Thursday I do this. On Friday I do this. Once I list it out, then I know that I want to look like an e-commerce website, so definitely I'll have to be posting content of what they are selling so that their products are on their page. So after developing teams, the next thing I will do is um, pick those teams one by one and find topics around them. Now, I know a lot of people will be wondering what kind of educational content though do I want to create for jewelry brand, somebody that sells jewelry, right? So whenever I want to do that, the next thing I do is I go to Google, I search for um, jewelries how to, or content on jewelries or something like that. Whenever I search for stuff like that, I search on the search bar. You would see some other subtopics there. I'll pick some that are picking up my interest. Then I'll also scroll down. There's a part where when you scroll down, you see people also ask for. Huh? You see that bar? There are enough questions that you could actually generate content from. So I see all those things. I pick it up. I write it down and I move on to the next. So aside from Google, there's also Pinterest actually. So when you check Pinterest for questions like that, you will see several how-tos also and educational content for jewelry brands, finding their finding jewelries that fit your neckline and all that. You understand? You pick content or pins that uh meet your interest, and you also develop content around it. You could search answer the public for questions as well that people ask. around jewelry for jewelry questions like that, or for your clients' niches. And then you would see several others. There's Quora. You can also search for questions that people are asking on jewelry on Quora, and several others. So whenever you are doing your research, you make it as robust as possible. And then, of course, I have like a content dump that I have to write like several. Oh, I like this one. I'm putting it in my dump. So now that I have like this huge volume that I want to create, then I go ahead to creating them, right? So then I create content. I whenever I'm creating content, I always make sure that my content are 60% someone else's and then 40% me, right? So once I do all that, then I now go ahead to planning my content, right? So I know that on Mondays I want motivational posts. Now, on Mondays that I have motivational quotes, I'll now work on motivational quotes for the next 4 Mondays in a month, right? So if you want it to be for 2 months, that's 8 motivational quotes. If you want it to be for 3 months, that's 12 motivational quotes. Knowing that I'm developing 12 content, it makes it easier, right? So I've developed 12 content for all the Wednesdays in a week. All the Wednesdays for the next 3 months, 12 content. I mean, 12 content for Monday, 12 content for Tuesday, 12 content for Wednesday, 12 content for Thursday, 12 content for Friday. I have basically created content for the next 3 months. That's me basically batching the content for the next 3 months that I'm going to be posting on Instagram. I've developed their content calendar. Once I do that, I send it for review to the clients. The client sends their corrections. I make corrections when necessary. And after I do the corrections, I schedule the content and we're good to go. Same thing for email marketing, right? Whenever I want to develop email marketing content, I basically like using AI tools. So you could use Jasper.ai is paid. You could also use ChatGPT to help you out with the body of your content. I just need 12 emails, right? I've picked each topic. I already have a list of topics that I want to work with. You understand? So for my email marketing, I just go to the topics. I pick 12 topics that I want to talk about, and then I flesh it out. So once I flesh out the body of my content using the ADA framework. I'll talk about the ADA framework some other time. Or if you are following me on Instagram, I'll probably do it next week at ADA framework. So once I do that, I basically make sure that it sparks desire, it catches the attention and all that. So once I draft out all my content and I flesh it out and it looks good, then of course I schedule my content for the next 12 weeks, meaning I have 12 email newsletters that I can post to my clients and I've scheduled it out so I can chill and relax or develop content for the next 12 weeks again after like say a week. You understand? And with that, I am done for the next quarter for my content for my clients. And we'll move on to the next client. So that way it makes it easy for me to manage my time as well as manage more than one client. Apart from the daily monitoring and of course engagement and several other things that I'm going to do, I'm not burnt out because I have time to do all these things and as well as work on the content, create their graphics the next day. So say